Alrighty.
Team and ran with it. It was kind of cool. In the game lobby, though, things will happen. We'll see how they happen. The new Mundo icon is kind of surreal.
It's very different. I mean, I don't have a problem with either one. I like the old one because it kept the kind of funky feel of League of Legends, but this one really makes him look like a crazy man, like truly like a crazy man, and that's also pretty cool. We see Urgot ban Cassin ban. Again, nothing too special. Oh, we see a Rumble ban. I don't think I'm necessarily seeing Rumble necessarily banned too often.
Might be a counter ban.
Yeah,
that's
might
probably
be.
all I'm thinking. I mean, he tends to be like a tanky damage guy, and generally those are what get banned.
I mean, we saw with Lurch playing Rumble in round 1. Yeah, and did pretty well. So they're gonna go ahead and ban that. So
played Rumble for the first time the other day. It was terrible. Never doing it again. I just can't get the danger zone thing down. I keep screwing it up and accidentally silencing myself. Yorick gonna be the ban after that, and Darius as well.
Man, Darius getting banned. I just enjoy watching Darius just because it's so satisfying when he gets that Noxian Guillotine down, regardless of how strong he is or whether that team's winning or not. It's just satisfying to see him leap into the air and just come down with the axe, and it's death and repeats itself into more deaths. But we see Wukong as the last ban coming out from, I believe it's Cheese Enema on the purple team. Yes, feel the vibe. Starting with Spawn Legacy as the first pick. Spawn Legacy going to go ahead and pick up that Pantheon that he played last match. Did a great job. Really helped change the game flow at the end to really turn it back around into their favor by helping out bot lane.
And Pantheon looking like he's going to be the first pick here. No Poppy, no Rammus, no Rise ban. Things are changing. Stop the ride. I want to get off. The meta's different. Went from Blueberry to Watermelon. Seeing Jax and Malphite getting picked up. I think it's pretty standard so far. Nothing completely outrageous. We're going to have to see what the rest of the champs end up looking like. And Buddha Rice and Armor would be the next two guys to pick.
Yep, lots of common bans that are open. Warwick's still open.
Yep.
I know Lulu's not a common ban, but Lulu's still open. I've seen Lulu do quite well. And I've learned...
Lulu gets banned sometimes.
Yeah, here and there. Not necessarily...
Mostly against Zemite. I think it's Zemite.
Right, I think that...
Where they ban them. But, we're going to see Armor playing a Mumu. We've seen some good Mumu play so far. Nice to kind of see a return from that. Bandage toss, you get Pantheon stun, and a couple big AoEs there.
Yeah, I mean, Amumu's actually starting to make a comeback in Summoner's Rift too. People deciding that, you know what, the reason he fell off was there started being all these tanks and bruisers who can do damage while still being a shield. Why not just build Amumu that way? You know, he has some good AP ratios, and all of this damage is single burst, except for of course the tiers, but that's really only effective. Really, I mean, it's most optimal against tanks, so it's not necessarily that important. But of course, late game it's going to matter a lot. So people have been stacking some AP on him first, stack some Doran's Rings coming out of the jungle, and of course in Dominion, I mean, you can get these earlier items to get going.
A little bit of hang time for the next pick here. I'm liking the Ezreal play. I've been liking it all tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Ezreal. He's one of my main champions, aka basically champions I never get bored of going back to, and I like playing. I think they're one of my best. Ezreal's up there. Really like him.
Who do you think the worst champ in Dominion is?
In Dominion? Ooh.
Yeah.
I'll have to, there's so many champions.
Well, how about Summoner's Rift, since you play that a little more? What do you think is the worst champ for Summoner's Rift?
You know, well, I mean, Eve of course gets a lot of flack. I think she still can be worked. It's just not that viable. Hecarim actually, I just don't see doing that well in Summoner's Rift. It's just he takes too long to get built up as a bruiser, and if you go straight damage, he can get melted too fast. He doesn't have as great base stats, so
I always feel like this is gonna sound really weird to say, but I always feel like Anivia and Nidalee are a little weak. Like, they have really good poke, and they can do some strong damage, but they just sort of seem to fall apart in the team fight environment later in the game, unless you're like really hanging like outside the fight and just kind of throwing little bits in. But the damage is usually kind of slow for that same reason. It's always been like, but they're really good at getting ahead early on in the game, it feels like. A couple more picks had come out, though. We got Maokai and Poppy being picked, followed up by Warwick and Soraka. Maybe going to see some Soraka bottom play. That was a thing for a while. Haven't seen much of it since then. To find out who the last pick is, I feel like Arco's Poppy is what's going to happen. He's played Poppy a few times in a tournament environment. See what this last pick is going to be. They've got a lot of really good damage absorption. They've got a good AD champ. They've got a good burst champ. I mean, what fits into this role? Do they take a support?
I mean,
or do they roll with a little bit more fight? Ooh. I like that.
I like it. I like it because Kog'Maw can do a lot of things. He can still be built standard, but of course he can also be built with just kind of like a utility poke supportish guy. Build some mana, build a little bit tanky, then just like poke with your ultimate. So of course a little bit AP. I'm kind of like I haven't seen a Cassian play because he's pretty much just banned. But I would say, in my mind, the build path for that kind of work for Kog'Maw to be done is in there. I had a talk with one of the players before about that because I was like, well, is Kog'Maw really viable in Dominion? He's such a squishy guy, but they were like, all you have to do is really just build him tanky, spam your ult, interrupt all the time, poke them down, and then go in. You still have the percent damage on your W, the Bio Arcane Barrage. You have a lot to offer.
I was right about Arcos playing Poppy? That's kind of weird. I didn't think I'd be right. That was so cool. And yeah, Kog'Maw always is a scary champion to me because if you build him for like that sort of shred, like Wit's End Malady, you do that on-hit thing with him, he can get nightmarish. And if you build him for damage, he can certainly front-load damage like crazy, but he also tends to be extremely fragile, is the problem with him. And when you have Ezreal and Pantheon on the enemy team, it feels like he can get shut down very easily because of their ability to sort of jump over the wall of HP that's in front of him and just kind of sit on his face. So he's got extremely good poke. I mean, he can harass someone right off of a tower if you give him enough time. If you leave Kog'Maw alone, you have to leave a tower. That's just what's going to happen, So I really like him as a pick, but he definitely does have some weaknesses that are going to have to be overcome.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he
is really good against high hit point champs, though, like Warwick and Amumu, because you see a lot of Kog'Maw players get Kitay's Blood Razor. And, Kitay's, which is the way Kog'Maw sort of plays, it's a really good combination. And I think it'll work out really well. However, on the opposite end of the spectrum, you've got a Soraka to just throw down that global heal. And it's like, I don't know, this is a really... I think the Cog pick is going to be really effective. That's what I think.
Yep. But man, that MR shred with Amumu, it's going to be pretty dirty. Soraka can kind of stay on the edges, still use Star Call, but like not die. But of course, the key is you can't die. It's
that's definitely a thing. I mean, you should get that MR shred, and Amumu can do. We can increase the Mumu's damage, increase damage on Warwick's Q. And, yeah, it's good. It's a good shred. Pump that damage up. I mean, it'll help Ezreal out a little bit.
Just a tad bit. I mean, Warwick a little bit, but it's really going to come in handy with just all the AoE that Amumu has to offer. You have the Tantrum.
Definitely. But I mean, if she's going to be bottom lane, it's really going to be... You really going to see that during ganks and stuff like that.
Alrighty. Well, in terms of summer spells, nothing too special. Pretty much the same setup. 2 exhaust, 2 garrisons, 1 ignite, and all revives on both teams. Again, blue team is Feel the Vibe. Purple team is Cheese Enema. This is Chober with Gandir for Dominate Dominion number 10. I'm just waiting on the countdown now to get into this awesome game.
Awesome games are what we love to watch. Here's some console games actually. I know a guy would probably be happy if I bring that up. If you like console games and video game speedruns and things like that, you should check out Speed Demos Archive. They play through some awesome games ridiculously fast, and there's links on their site all about it. But if you're into console games and stuff like that, you can see some awesome games there. This awesome game is going to get started in just a few seconds here. I'm really anxious to see this. The spectator delay is killing me.
Yeah, we're just like waiting so long. So much action has probably already happened. First fight, the windmill has gone down.
Warwick's dead right now.
Oh man.
He just came back though. It's okay.
You know, that revive. That revive. Gonna be loading in here. Oh, there we go. We see some skins. Sad Robot of Moo Moo. See Full Metal Pantheon and Feral Warwick. We see Jack Smith, Charred Malphite, Obsidian Malphite, Ranger. Oh, 5 skins on the purple side. On which note, who is on the purple team, Gander?
On the purple team, on the bottom, we have Cheese Enema. It is Sifu Calvin playing as Jax, Krog playing as Maokai, Lurch playing as Malphite, Chavez Obama playing as Kog'Maw, and Arcos playing as the Red Power Ranger. I'm kidding, that's just Poppy. I've never seen that skin. That is really cool. I'm Gander. Casting with me is Chobert. Chobert, who's on the other team?
On the other team, we have Feel the Vibe here on the blue side. As you see on your screen, we have Take Your Pill. Gonna go bot lane with Soraka. Buddha Rice on Ezreal. We saw that before. Was done quite well. Spawn lane on Pantheon. Also the same pick from that previous match. Armor on a Mumu. I believe that was also the same pick. And now Tournament on Warwick. Tournament was on Swain in the match we just casted. Gonna be Warwick this time. So Soraka gonna go bot lane. As you mentioned, not gonna really work out with the whole MR shred until, of course, ganks happen and gameplay kind of switches up.
You're going to see that Giant Belt start on Armor once again. Seeming to like that health. I like that a lot. No boots. Starts with a Giant's Belt and some pots. I kind of question the boots sometimes at the beginning of the game because it turns into sort of a click fest at the beginning. Unless you have like some sort of crazy like early windmill cap build with like Rammus and a bunch of ghosts and something really kind of questionably reliable like that. But it feels like you can go without boots on more than one champ and still get to the top in time to sort of keep things from swinging in one team's favor or the other one and kind of be able to get a little bit extra damage in that engagement and then pick up the boots when you die, like right before you hit the revive and come back. Maybe you could swing that. I'm not sure. Something that we will have to investigate in the future. Right now, both teams heading up towards the top of the map. And Ezreal firing off a shot.
Well, he gets there pretty quick though. Lurch is now there. It's a 3v3 so far. Pantheon Poppy making their way up. Blues actually getting quite a bit of cap before getting interrupted though, and now they're going to dive right in with that counter-strike. But Pantheon going to jump right onto Kog'Maw, and then the exhaust. Excellent just focus coming up from Armor and Spawn Legacy. They're going to take out Kog'Maw right away for the first blood, while Jax is going to get chased down by Tournament on Warwick. Ezreal was taken out though, but Ezreal is right back in the actual revive, as are the others who have fallen during the fight. Lurch running pretty low, but so is Spawn Legacy. Spawn Legacy is going to make it out for the time being. Arcos takes the health relic, so Armor and Spawn Legacy are going to go ahead and start that cap. We're going to get a lot of it done. Arcos goes for the interrupt, but Buddha Rice is now here. Might be able to start the cap once again. Yup, and they're going to get it. Red's actually going to go straight to focus bot lane.
Yep, Arcos is going to get sent back, and they're just going to dive for bottom lane. Really crazy here. Take Your Pill taking some damage. Chavez, Obama, and Lurch going in for the cap there. And it looks like Warwick and Ezreal making a move heading towards the drill while this is going on. And Spawn Legacy moves up to try and delay a little bit for Chavez, Obama to get more of the cap on in. But they go ahead and walk past Malphite, looking to threaten Cog. Cog pulls back wisely to avoid any damage. They do have a neutral off on that point. I don't know if they're going to continue to press it or not. They are on that end of the map, and Lurch is going to recall. Chavez Obama's heading back. So it looks like they were just going down there to mess with it for a little bit. Arcos pushed up against the tower. Minions OP? Yes, they are. Dominion minions so good. Doing all that work, neutralizing that point there. They're going to have to recap that. And right now, Feel the Vibe is in an okay spot.
Yep, they have a 3-1 cap, now 3-2. Fight breaking out at the Storm Shields right here. Sifu Calvin is forced to activate Grandmaster's Might. Not sure who to focus. They're going to just jump into Armor first because he's up close. but you really don't want to have to do that too much. Spawn Legacy will get a ton of free damage, but Kog'Maw is here with that percent damage. But Ezreal's going to kind of push him away. Armor's still running really low. Lurch is going to get taken down with a True Shot Barrage to the face. Amumu is actually going to get the kill credit on that, but the True Shot Barrage will pick up Poppy, and there is the swipe coming out from Warwick to pick up that kill onto Jax. Field of 5 just doing really well. He now has the speed buff as he can sniff the low health Kog'Maw out from miles away, but Arcos is going to come and protect Chavez Obama.
And Spawn Legacy is going to pick up that center health relic there, and Poppy is swinging down towards the bottom end of the map. It looks like they might be making another gank for Soraka or trying to cut in behind, and they are going to cut in behind. Take your pill, going to get rooted there. Arcos coming up and is going to get that knockback right into the wall. Good position, good angle for that. Take your pill taking a lot of damage. But then we got the Poppy ult going off as well. Spawn Legacy looks like he's going to try and take care of Krog here. And it might be a one-for-one trade down here. Arcos is able to take care of Soraka. And Krog low on health, but looks like was able to get out of that okay. Arcos and Totalman just kind of like walking right by each other. Now Spawn Legacy getting caught. Chavez Obama, there's some of that damage. After Poppy has pinned him down, and Totalman retreating back towards the tower. Up at the top, however, Sifu, Calvin, and Lurch making a move. Armor really low on hit points. Buddha Rice getting pushed right back up again. The Garrison goes down. There we go. We got the ult that goes off. Armor getting away. Now Buddha Rice is going to chase after Sifu Calvin, and no, stop there, little mummy. That's not safe. Pantheon's gonna, not Pantheon, but Jack's gonna jump, and no, he's gonna turn around to get Buddha Rice instead. Taking a chunk out of his health, and he's going to get caught by Totalment over here. Going to try and jump away. That's a lot of damage, but Buddha Rice is okay.
Meanwhile, bot lane Soraka eventually got taken down once again by Arcos and Krog. They're going to go ahead and neutralize this point. I don't think they'll be able to stay for the cap. Armor is showing up. Spawn Legacy is here. Arcos knows that. Arcos is low. Oh, actually gets taken down by the Heartseeker Strike. Stayed too low, which is taking a lot of sustained damage. The minions are here helping with the cap, but Spawn Legacy says, no, go away, minions. You will pay for that, and Krog is going to... Oh, he does get the health relic, but he's just going to get bursted down with that passive crit coming out from Heartseeker Strike. Meanwhile, top lane Lurch just going to go ahead and start pushing again with Chavez Obama. Totalment is here. So is Buddha Rice. Buddha Rice has been doing lots of damage already. Has that early Brutalizer. Now working towards that Phage to give him some more utility, some more damage, some more health. And he's going to go ahead and put down some damage. The Infinite Duress comes out from Totalment, and now they're going to jump right into Chavez Obama, but Buddha Rice, that means, is zoned. Sifu Calvin will pay for that, but Chavez Obama also being taken down, so they're going to take care of each team's damage. Their Spawn Legacy is going to take the full brunt of that true damage, but Totalment and Armor are going to try to push off this minion wave. They're going to get them neutralized, though.
Yep. Minions doing a lot of work this tournament. Seeing a lot of things being turned over by just the narrow margin of them being present or absent. Down at the bottom here, Poppy shaping up for another attack, maybe. Take Your Pill seems to be the victim. They don't want Soraka to be having a good lane today, and going to go ahead and start that cap right there. Pantheon coming down as well, and is going to drop in to help defend here, put some damage on Krog. Arcos gets chased away from the point, and things look to be defended for now as Krog retreats very low on health. Not going to get pursued, though.
Yep, Pantheon has just kind of put out the Heartseeker Strike for some extra damage and letting Krog get away. Meanwhile, top lane Armor's running low. He's just going to get taken down immediately. Now they're going to be able to turn to Buddha Rice. Buddha Rice putting out tons of damage onto Lurch. In fact, gets him before the double kill goes out for Chavez Obama. Now it's Totalment alone for a few seconds, but the stun comes out from Pantheon. He's going to pick up that kill onto Jax, and then the Infinite Dress comes onto Kog'Maw. They know who they want to focus. Feel the Vibe is just playing really good team fights right now. They're shifting focus whenever they need to, taking out priority correctly against the enemy team.
Arco's showing his face over at the refinery now. Got an ult, comes in, interrupts that. Armor missing with the bandage toss, but Arcos was scared away by that ult from Ezreal, and swinging down towards the bottom. Gonna make a move on Armor there, still getting chased, and Spawn Legacy gonna catch Arcos maybe? Yes, gonna catch Arcos with the stun there. Gonna trade some hits. We got Sifu, Calvin, and Krog coming up to the fight, and everyone showing up to the party over here. Spawn Legacy low on health, gonna be the first one to go down. Totalment gonna get pushed back, and meeting up with Buddha Rice. Buddha Rice trying to get a little bit of damage in, but trying to stay safe at the same time. Totalman getting chased. Arco's down here. I don't know where Poppy went. I can't fit it on the screen. The Moo ult goes down. Sifu Calvin taking some from that. And battle seems to be fairly even down here right now. Warwick taking a bite, but going to back off a little bit. Amumu with the damage aura on, and this could go any way at any given second here. With so many champions so low on hit points, up at the top, Arcos and Chavez were able to take the windmill, and they're going to go ahead and recall now. Not Feel the Vibe. Yeah, now Feel the Vibe is down towers at this point.
Yep, Cheese Enema with a 3-cap. While that fight was going on right around here next to Storm Shield, Poppy had chased off Ezreal, was running really low, kited back, and then brought Kog'Maw into the fight. They took down Ezreal eventually, being able to cap the windmill, so they hold the 3-cap for the time being. They were down a little bit, but by all means the game is nowhere near over. Still pretty close to call. Both teams playing some good fights so far, and Blue's going to shift the focus. Red team is reacting. They know something's going down in bot lane. The Mandrop's going to come in, and Warwick jumps right onto Maokai, and then jumps right back out with the Infinite Dress onto Sifu Calvin. They saw the damage dealers coming in from the back. He wants to make sure Jax didn't even get a chance. If he gets one more swipe, but the exhaust is going to save Sifu Calvin with so little health. Meanwhile, Maokai's ultimate is negating so much damage right next to the tower. They also have the defense advantage under the tower with the tower damage. Totalman has taken a ton of damage. Armor sitting at the low half health. Lurch is possibly going to continue chasing. Take Your Pill taking a lot of tower damage, and now going to get chased down by Chavez Obama, possibly. Ezreal's still hanging around, but needs to watch out. Jax is back at full health. The counter strike will hit. The bandage toss is actually only going to hit Lurch. Lurch is going to get out alive. Buddha Rice goes down. Armor is now going to go down for a double kill on Jax. Excellent response coming out from Cheese Enema.
Yeah, Cheese Enema responding to that very, very well, cleaning that up very convincingly, making a move for the bottom right now. Sifu Calvin's going to make a move on Spawn Legacy to buy time for Malphite to complete that neutral. Gets that neutral off. No defender's advantage down there right now. And Spawn Legacy getting shut down on the bottom end of the map. And, you know, things were looking from pretty good to oh my.
Yup, they
right
have
now.
the 5-cap right now.
Faster than some political campaigns that I've seen. This is why it's never over in Dominion. You just got to keep playing. Arco's trying to defend this point over here, but the entire team, for the most part, is there. Lurch shows up to help, wants to keep that neutral, wants to keep that out of their possession, wants to keep them on the defensive. By applying pressure like this, it really doesn't give much room for them to push out, and that's exactly what they want. The act of attacking helps defend their back points. Take Your Pill is going to hang around. You only need one person to cap. The rest of them are going to go ahead and break off and try and make a play for somewhere else. Cog lands a little bit of artillery right there, does a little bit of damage, and it looks like Krog's heading down to the bottom point, and up here at the top, another engagement going down. Up here, Amumu drops the ultimate right there. Chavez Obama is getting some hits in. Armor taking a lot of damage. Sifu Calvin also taking a lot of damage. Warwick just diving right through the entire enemy team to really try and put him down, but isn't quite able to do so. No, he does. Wow, just people dying left, right, and center here. The fight really, really narrow right now. Buddha Rice high on health but low on mana. Everyone low on mana. Chavez Obama goes down. Spawn Legacy goes down. And Totalman does get the job done. Nice dive from him. No! Lurch comes in. Airborne's everyone. Buddha Rice trying to put in some damage there, but he just doesn't have any mana. There's no mana for Totalman. There's no mana for Buddha Rice. They really can't put out damage with their abilities like they want to. Lurch doing a really good job of defending this. Very good at keeping that from getting neutral there.
Oh, stops the port. Chavez Obama with that great living artillery. Malphite's going to come in and get the shutdown onto Ezreal. Totalman blocked in by his own minions. And he's going to keep running. The seismic shard is going to hit, though. Lurch can definitely get the kill. Maybe the living artillery missed. Totalman juking left and right. Got his juke shoes on. But Arcos is going to say, oh, hey, what's up? Coming in from your base side. Going to pick up that kill. And they're going to go ahead and neutralize this once again. Poppy's just all over the map right now. Just coming from left and right. From the enemy base to your own base. The bandage toss misses. Meanwhile, in bot lane, Armor and Spawn Legacy are both around here. Armor is going to go ahead and actually just coming from behind. Pantheon gets the speed shrine and is going to run right back up, but the tower is there. The garrison goes down. Maokai's put down his ult, so he takes much reduced damage. And Armor is surviving quite a bit, not taking too much damage. But can they survive it out? Krog also surviving for a very long time. Armor now taking tons of damage as the garrison has, oh, the Curse of the Sad Mummy is going to pick up the kill for Pantheon, but Chavez Obama comes by and picks up the double kill.
Don't bring an Amumu ult to a Maokai ult fight. Oh man, that was so close, but that Maokai ult just did so well at keeping him sustained under that tower, really utilizing the tower's damage in that defense there. Sifu Calvin going to try and get this point, but Totalment really wants to dive for it. Arcos doesn't want to let him, and he is going to get that interrupt. Sifu Calvin decides to turn around and going to get that stun and that kill off on him. Delays it for just a little while, but there's no one else in position to keep it neutral at the moment, and from 5 points down to 3 points, still leading right now, and the health really plummeting there for a little bit for Feel the Vibe.
Yeah, it just went all the way down, and now it's 251 to 119 in favor of Cheese Enema. They're playing really well right now. I mean, Armor and Spawn Legacy are at the windmill though, so we're going to see Chavez Obama and Lurch start to make their way over. Gonna get that intro with Living Artillery, and that's what I was talking about. That ultimate with so much range. It's slightly AoE, can get some good intros from out of danger. Jax is met by Ezreal, but has that Storm Shield, isn't going to take any actual damage to his health. Well, Poppy just bouncing around is going to get slightly caught by the enemy team to exhaust, and the stun comes out, but Poppy's going to go right back in with her own stun against the wall. Sifu Calvin in the middle of everything with that Infinite Duress, but the Unstoppable Force comes in and knocks him up. The kills still go down. Jax and Pantheon both taken out of the fight. Arcos has run away for the time being. Chavez Obama going to get taken down first, and Lurch still pretty good health, but Buddha Race with the excellent blink over the wall to avoid the true damage coming out from Yakantian's surprise, and Ezreal is now going to try to maybe make a run for the drill. Not the best idea though. Maokai is nearby, so is Poppy. Poppy's going to come in first. Maokai's going to go straight to the top to try to interrupt that. It does get neutralized as we see on the map, but Ezreal is going to pay for that dearly. Gets entirely melted. Armor's pretty low, so Krog's gonna have an okay time 2v1 so far, but the man drop's coming in, so is Poppy. It's gonna be another somewhat fair 2v2. Toman Spawn Legacy at full health though. Arcus not in a good spot. Tries to push back, but the Infinite Duress comes down. Maokai's ult is helping. I'm gonna get a ton of damage, and then the Poppy ult only taking damage from Totalment. Sifu Calvin comes in. Arco's still alive. Totalment wants to chase. Curseless and Mummy stops the chase. Totalment is forced to turn around, try to save Amumu, being played by Armor, and the Twisted Advance. Archer's living for so very long with the help of the teammates. Now the Seismic Shard comes down. Cheese Enema got each other's backs. They're going to take back this windmill up at the top.
Yep, another painkiller escape for Poppy there with the 2-digit hit points. A lot of narrow fights, a lot of minion things deciding. Things have been really back and forth. Chavez Obama trying to defend this point 2v1, but Buddha Rice putting a lot of damage in on him. Take your pill down there to help support that. Crowd comes down to the bottom, and with Maokai there, I think that is going to foil this, though he does engage off the point, however, trying to get Buddha Rice down, but Buddha takes that blink and is taking some damage from Poppy and going to get taken out. Take your pill hanging back is probably going to be able to retreat okay here, though, with Arcos and Krog. They might make a play for this tower. It looks like Arcos is going in there. Once a piece of Take Your Pill, Krog is going to try and get that, but no, Totalment comes down here, scares Krog back just a little bit now, and drops the ult, starts walking away there, and a little defense there. Up at the top, however, there's Garrison down on the point. Chavez Obama, Lurch, and Sifu Calvin putting Spawn Legacy down and making Armor follow shortly thereafter, defending that point against them, while Totalment chases Arcos around the map.
Yep, but Arcos, speedy Poppy, just running all around so fast right now with 520 move speed, and comes right back around. They're looking for a potential fight, but they say, you know what, we have the advantage, we're going to kind of regroup, kind of take a little water break here, and see what we want to do. I mean, Maokai's pushing out pretty well, just decides to forego the minions, realize that Take Your Pill has taken some time to get back, gets some of the cap points, but look at them gathering. It's like vultures gathering around this one point down here next to the quarry, and Chavez Obama comes down. The Maokai ult is going to block any of the Star Code damage and such from Soraka. Of course, it doesn't block tower damage, but no need. They're going to go ahead and cap that. The True Shot Barrage stops 2 of them, but Jax and Poppy being smart, standing on the other side. Meanwhile, top lane Lurch being able to defend so far against 3 people, but they're going to go ahead and take that with that offensive garrison, mitigating a ton of tower damage. Meanwhile, Spawn Legacy goes for the back cap on the drill, and now it's a 3 cap all of a sudden for Feel the Vibe.
Yep, Sifu Calvin heading up towards the top end of the map. Chavez Obama stopping to pick up that relic there. Arcos is Poppy that looks a little bit like Lulu, actually, with the little hat running around there. And plays being made for 2 different points right now. It looks like Sifu Calvin is going to start taking the drill back, whereas on the bottom lane, Krog is going to try and defend this point 1v3. And he's going to be able to lay that for quite some time. Amumu with the ultimate there. And the garrison goes down on the turret to keep it alive just a little bit longer, just seconds, the game of seconds right now, as they start turning that around to get the neutral off on it, which stops the clock. Nexus health no longer depreciating while that is going on, and it is successfully captured. Now, 19 Nexus health to 210. Got the infantry duress goes down up at the top of the map. However, Totalment taking a lot of damage from Sifu and Chavez Obama, and he is going to go down, puts them in a good position to be able to take this, and there is no one to contest this right now. They are going to be able to get that, but Ezreal's ult can only hit one person. That cap is going to keep going, the neutral is going to happen, the clock is going to stop once again, and as soon as that gets turned around, that 19 hit points that are remaining on the Nexus are going to tick down rather quickly thereafter, and that point is secured, and all they have to do is delay for a little bit, and they will have this game.
Yep, only 16 points left. Arcos has just been an absolute superstar by being so mobile. Just pretty much playing a roaming Poppy, running all over the map, got some backcaps through there, killed Warwick on his own platform with Ignite. Pantheon wants to try to neutralize this. All he needs is a neutralize before they can go ahead and fight with the team, but Kog'Maw's going to get an excellent interrupt. He's still in the area. He has that long range. Armor has shown up, though. The interrupt still lands, and they don't get the stun onto Chavez Obama. They're going to have to turn around. The interrupt keeps coming through, and that's going to be good game, ladies and gentlemen.
The Cheese Enema is going to take this game over Feel the Vibe, and they go on to the finals.
Man, that was a good game to watch.